All right. Okay, I need you guys to watch something closely. This is just a portion of the video with this oddness here. So I noticed at one portion, like of course we're getting the weird flyovers, some of them maybe bugs and birds, I don't know. But the orb, the black orb that keeps showing up, there's something to those things. They enter my frame quite often. I've had it explained to me as, like just a camera anomaly or, defect, which they're not. And here's what I'm going to try to show you. So as you can see here, this is where the object kind of starts to blur itself out a little bit. But I'm going to bring it in as close as possible here. So first of all, let me go back to normal size. Okay, so this is kind of what we were looking at, where it's kind of blurred out, throughout. You can see that it's all blurry. Got something entered the camera there. But you can still see that that's there and blurry. But right here where this black orb enters into the shot, now let me kind of zoom out here for you. We're going to get the normal perspective here of what it would have looked like from down below where it would have been hard to catch. So that goes by, which I believe is the black orb that shifts a little. I don't know how, but I think that they provide maybe kind of something for them to camouflage themselves with, so to speak. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in here, get as close as possible to this orb that's going on here, okay? Now just pay attention here. So you see that entered into the frame, right? We're going to go frame by frame as slow as possible. This is the only way I can show you. Okay, you see this start to enter into the lens area there, right here at the very bottom there. So that's our white object. Okay, so we're going to kind of zoom out a little bit so I can get this back into a better perspective for you. So this is when it enters into the frame. All right, and watch this thing interact with this orb. It could have went straight up, right? It should have went straight up, but instead it starts flying kind of the circumference of around the orb, I should say. Okay, so as you can see, that's what it's doing here. Now let me bring this as close as possible right here. Okay, we're going to go back. It's entered the frame here. Kind of goes around this orb here, right? Now, keep in mind that you would still be able to see this thing if this black orb looking thing was, something on my camera, which I've cleaned my lens dozens. I clean it every time. And this orb has been showing up for about 2 years, but I can remember, well, actually, since I got this in particular phone, I would say after about a year I had it. So yeah, 2 years. I've been seeing these black orbs. It's almost like they show up right when they're trying to block something from being seen. So again, I'm going to zoom in closer here because you're going to watch this thing almost use this as a cover or canvas, just to canvas and hide itself. So there we are, where it's kind of on the top area of the orb. Pull this down again so we can still see. It kind of circles around, as we know. It's went around it, didn't go through it. Okay, here's the part where I really need y'all to pay attention. All right, so I'm going to bring it back down to where we can kind of see this better. Okay, so there it is. It's kind of going around this, which you wouldn't know to fly around a camera defect, okay? Or artifact, it just wouldn't. But look, you see that? This is when I stopped filming because I thought it just disappeared because, well, it did in fact disappear. But the reason it disappeared is it went behind this orb. That's why it disappeared and I stopped filming. So you guys can clearly see that. It disappears right there. That's not, and the orb moves on. I'm still staying straight, but the object is suddenly gone, okay? So that's what I've been trying to explain to people when they're saying it's a camera artifact. It's just, it happens with certain cameras and blah, blah, blah. And I appreciate that. I always look for the logic too. But come on, y'all. There's no logic in this. This wouldn't happen that way if it were in fact an artifact. And that black orb wasn't in fact something up in our sky that always, always, always follows. When I'm filming upward and into the aerial area, these orbs show up almost every time, like clockwork. So, you clearly saw from the beginning this thing flew around it, came around the top of it, and then right here, used it for cover. That, or this thing sucked it in and got rid of it. But, it's in your face. Proof is in the pudding, they say, okay? So, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're looking at it. There's no way to explain that, especially because it's gone after this. It's completely gone. You won't see it anywhere. It never shows back up after that. This orb just kind of takes it away, folks. So it's behind it now. You see, you would never have barely noticed that. And I'm still zoomed, excuse me. I'm still zoomed way in. Sorry, something's in the air because my allergies or bronchial area is so congested, and I think we know what's in the air, but hey, nobody's listening. So there you go. Orb goes off that way, and our little buddy's gone by that time. So it's clear as day to me, I know, I get it. I know we look for the logic, but there's just not always logic. In fact, I'm finding less logic than there was before. I think what we had before is just indoctrination and informational lies. That's what I'm actually certain of, because, artifacts, whatever they want to call us, just because somebody's named something doesn't mean it's always so. And here's your proof right there. It's gone. It's gone. It's just gone. It doesn't come back after this, guys. Orb takes it away. Gone. Back into the trees. Back over there. See? And you can also see this orb that is not an artifact because it leaves and goes behind the trees. It's gone, gone, gone. There's nothing left of it now. That's just, it is what it is, It is what it is. I can't make you see. I can't make you understand when it's hard enough for myself to even understand. But make no mistake about it. This thing isn't normal and natural. None of it is. And there's a lot of other things going on up there in the sky along with this little guy here. And probably the aircraft as well. I hate to say that, but it's true. There's more to the story than what we've been shown. And you have to look deeper and you have to look harder. Because if you don't, you blink, you miss it. And that's what we've done. And I believe this thing here, right here, a lot of people think it's a bug or a bird, and it could be. But I find it very odd because these are always flying and zipping in and out faster than the speed of light. Anytime I film something in the sky that, is unidentified in my own book, I'll always see these things zipping by. And they're so fast, you blink, you miss it too. But I believe this is the beginning of that orb there, So, like I said, we can only go off what we can figure out for ourselves with our own eyes, our own ears, and our own minds. And my mind says, nah, this is a lie. They're lying to us. They have been lying to us. It's been a lie for way longer than we understand. And we have been indoctrinated, especially when we find ourselves repeating what someone taught us or, demonstrated to us that would be such and such, they say, That doesn't make them right. It just makes us great, excellent listeners and memorizing things quite well because, that's what we've done. We have memorized over and over and over again. So, just running through some filters here, it could look like a bug, but I've seen some of these that look like bugs are just gigantic, But I don't think so. I think this is, again, something to do with that thing itself. In fact, that's a shape I saw it in at one time. But, I think that there's also some projected imagery going on. But these things, I believe, are biological. Well, let's put it this way. They're self-aware. There's some sort of an intelligence there, without doubt. There's some sort of intelligence going on within a lot of this because, folks, it just doesn't work like this. And it's not because someone taught me how it's supposed to work. It's because I've never seen this. Nobody's taught me anything about this, so more than likely I'm right and they're lying. And that goes for all of you that's seen and witnessed what we would understand to be, the supernatural. Just just remember, trust yourself and trust in God. Trust nobody else. And don't even trust me. Just do your own homework, you know, but you got to look. If you don't look, how would you ever see? You got to look first. You have to. And you can't just glance. You have to look deeply. I mean, it is what it is. You've got to actually use it, though. You have to use it. There it is, guys. And then it's gone behind the trees now in the orb. So all I can say is discernment's real, and we have got to tap into that. We have to. If we don't utilize our discernment, we're screwed. End of story. All right, that is all. Thank you.